Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And I want to talk about my first adventure into panning projects. I'm not just going to call it Project Pan because that is a specific thing that I'm not doing. So I mentioned in my no-buy video for the year that I was briefly considering starting either Project Pan or some kind of panning project. Hadn't fully committed to it, but I have spent the last week and a half researching the different projects and seeing if anything stood out to me. And I have finally decided what I want to work on. I don't have a ton of projects in every category. I only have one powder. I only have one brow product. Well, that's a lie. I have a couple brow products, but I use them together every time I do my makeup. So there are some things that just don't really apply to me, I suppose. And I wasn't fully interested in a regular Project Pan just because I feel like if I only use one product, like this pen, right? I only use this until it's gone. I would just get really bored and probably not enjoy doing my makeup anymore. The only thing I am actually working on in a traditional Project Pan is foundation. I'm working through ones I opened first and just kind of going through it. So right now I'm working on this Bobbi Brown one because of the ones I have. This is my oldest that is open, I should say. I have 3 open. 2 are winter shades and 1 is a summer shade, which I could use for filming, but I am just going to save that for the summer. So I'm about right here in this one, and I'm just going to keep using this until I use it up and then move on to the next one, which is my kind of separated makeup by Mario, which as you can see, I'm down to here. And then I'll move on once, so on and so forth. Once summer gets here, I will move into my summer one, but foundation is the only thing that I won't get bored with, really, because I kind of like the same finishes, and aside from color, I feel like most of my foundations right now are very similar in the coverage and the texture, so I don't really feel the need to have to switch that up frequently. I think once I get all of my stuff finished up, I am just going to end up sticking to 1 or 2 formulas that I like the absolute most. One I had mentioned a while ago, I still have this, that I am no longer going to be purchasing just because the undertones kind of drive me a little nuts, is the Double Wear, which breaks my heart because this is my favorite foundation. It's my favorite formula, but I always only get halfway through it before it oxidizes, and because all their undertones are very pink or very peach, they turn orange or pink on me. And where this one, you can't see where it ends. This, I have to blend all the way to my chest once it oxidizes, which is about halfway through. And this is way too expensive to only be able to use half of it. And why I only use half is it is medium buildable to full, and so I don't need a lot of product, where this, I would say, is light buildable to medium, so I use a lot more of this. This just takes forever to go through because I don't need that much for the level of coverage that I prefer. I'm just kind of getting rambly, but that is the only thing I'm doing as a traditional pan, but I'm not really going to include that in anything because I don't have that many foundations. Like I said, I only have 3. So let's start with how many projects I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing 3 projects simultaneously because they're all a little different. The first one is the one that kind of kicked this off, that really got me interested in the whole thing, and that is called No Pan Left Behind. If you aren't familiar with this, it's essentially using every pan of eyeshadow in your collection. Eyeshadow is the largest part of my collection. If you're new here, it is my favorite part of makeup, and I enjoy using multiple shades on my eyes. Like today, I have 5 different shades on this eye look. I specifically wanted to do this because there's a little project I will be including in this where a friend of mine, Bethany, started grading her palettes. She sent me this fun little Excel sheet that you put everything in, and then it creates a grade percentage wise for your palette. And I was like, I love this because it really forces you to break down why you like these things. And then ultimately I decide if I keep it or I declutter it. But that, to me, I'm not exactly sure how she does it, if she uses every shade and then does a thing, but that's how I'm going to do it. I want to use every shade in a palette so I can grade it. I assume that's what she's doing, but I can't speak for her for sure. This is how I want to do my declutter in 2025. I'll be keeping all my decluttered items in a box and then go over it at the end of the year, explaining why I graded something a specific way and why it got decluttered in case somebody is not following me on Instagram as I'm doing this. Now, I can't say I'll get through my entire collection. I think I have so I have 101 palettes right now. I don't know that I'll get through every pan and every palette. I'm hoping I can, like I said, because I use so many in a look. Like, we're hopeful here. But I'm not going to be hard on myself if I don't. I just want to get through as much as I can. Now, I'm very excited about this. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, is having a specific notebook to track things and to keep track of my collection. So I ordered one because it's the perfect size. It's 8x8, which I've never seen before. Usually only see the small ones, which I thought would be difficult. So I will share setting that up when it gets here, so you can see exactly what I'm doing and exactly how I'm going to track the panning process as well as my collection. So let's go over the palettes that I chose to start. I use this app called Tiny Decisions where you can put all of your stuff in and it creates like a wheel and then I spin it. I tried to roughly decide based on how the palettes were being picked. Like if it's a smaller palette, I figured I could pick a couple more because I'm going to go through that really quickly. Using, 6 eyeshadows, 5 eyeshadows in a look, I'm going to get through tiny palettes with 1 or 2 looks. So I picked this time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 palettes because I thought that I could get through that in a month. Well, technically 6 weeks. We'll get to that in a second. But I also have 1 palette that will be part of the next project we talk about. So essentially I have 6 that I'm going to get through. So let's go through the ones that I chose. The first one is Pat McGrath Nude Allure, which this one I will get through really quickly. Like literally 2 looks, easy. And there's no reason I can't combine palettes. There's another one I could use some of these with. So this is the first one that I picked. The next one is the Odin's Eye and Makeup Just for Fun Flora Story palette that looks like this. This will also be another easy one. Probably 2 eyeshadow looks through this. So you can see why I picked so many is because with how I do my eyeshadow, I'll get through this relatively quick. Next is Melt Cosmetics Mary Jane palette. This one is probably, it really depends on how I use the shimmers. 3 looks, I would say. Then we have the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Sugar Cone palette. This is maybe 2 looks. So I'll move through some of these quickly. Now this last one will be probably the most looks out of this, and it's the Friday the 13th Camp Crystal Lake Glam Light palette. This one is easily 5 looks, per row. So that one will take probably a full week to get through. But the other ones are only a couple of days. So I might actually be able to use some of these a couple of times in my month period. Why I actually said 6 weeks instead of a month is because I'm starting halfway through January. I'm not just going to pick stuff for 2 weeks of January. I'm going to combine all of February and January. So I will do my updates for this in March, which sounds so bizarre to say. So my second project just sounds so much fun. It was kind of sitting in the back of my head, and I'm kind of glad I decided on it. So I have a makeup friend on Instagram named Jazz. I'll leave her stuff down below. She loves to do panning. She's always doing new projects, but this one really stuck out to me. It's called Project Panopoly. It is based on the famous board game. I'm not going to say which, but you know what. And you basically move through your collection by moving spaces, rolling dice. You move around the board to pick products, and then you roll the dice to decide how many times you're going to use said product. You do swap things out. Now, there are some spaces I'm skipping because they just don't apply to me, like skincare products. I only use one moisturizer on my face. So, like, I'm going to pan it anyway because I use it every day. I'm not alternating between anything. So if I land on a space that isn't relevant to me, I just roll again and move from that space. I will also link the creator and the game website down below in the description if you're interested. Let's get into like my first choices. So the creator recommends picking 5 products to start. If you find that manageable, you can add more products, but she found that 5 is kind of a sweet spot. And then she recommends resetting every month. So this will also be 6 weeks for me because of my start time. So the first product category I landed on was a concealer. I really only have my staple concealers. If you've been around for a minute or follow me on Instagram, you see that I pretty consistently use the NARS concealer and the Urban Decay Quickie concealer. It used to be Shape Tape, but I switched to the Urban Decay one. But I do have an older one that I chose for this, and this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked. I used this today. It's a fairly light coverage concealer, which is why I don't use it very much, because you can see my dark circles aren't as concealed, nor are the spots on my face. I'm like right here in it, so I didn't roll a usage for this one. I just decided I want to use it up, so I'm just going to continue to use it until it's gone, which is pretty easy because I have a lot of things to conceal and I'm about halfway through it already. Space number 2, the second space I landed on was the newest product in your collection. So that will be an eyeshadow palette, which surprises nobody. And that is the Blend Bunny Longing palette, which I'm wearing on my eyes today. All four of these shades, I can't do this backwards. And then this in the inner corner. When I made this order, I actually bought 2 palettes, but this was the last one on the packing list, so I just counted this as the newest of those 2 palettes. So we already have a start on that. I rolled 5 uses out of that one. The next thing I rolled is a blush, and it was a your choice roll for how many uses, and I didn't pick one. I don't know. I haven't decided. And this is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in Spiced Cinnamon. I love this one in the winter. I'm also wearing this today. This is a fun winter shade. It's kind of odd. I don't know if I'm the only one who does this. I like to go with deeper blushes in the winter. Even though I'm more fair skinned in the winter, I'm not sure why I do that. But I'm wearing both shades today. That's what's giving me a little glow, is the glowy side. These blushes are just the oldest in my collection, and I have been neglecting them a little bit. I still really love the product. I don't quite love it as much as I love some of the other stuff, so we'll see how I feel about keeping all of these at the end of my little challenges. Product number 4, my 4th roll, is your most used product. So I picked the Benefit Gimme Brow because I use this every day, or most days, even if I'm not wearing other makeup. So I'd say like 5 times a week I use this. And it was another your choice roll. So I was like, well, I use it all the time anyway. So I might as well just use it until it's finished and then replace it. That one, again, kind of difficult because my most used products are literally the only product I use. Like if I picked my most used powder, it would only... So it's hard to pick a usage when it's the only thing that you use. The final product for this round of Panopoly is eyeliner, which I'm wearing today. I am not great with eyeliner, or I should say I wasn't at all good with eyeliner, and I'm getting a little better. I chose these Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner pens because they've been around in my collection for a while. I'm wearing the black one today, and I can't really see without my glasses because I have an astigmatism, so I have to have things like this close to my face, I would say, and that makes it kind of hard when you're doing this, especially because I'm right-handed, so the left eye is more difficult. Like, my left eye eyeliner does not look as good as my right eye eyeliner. I'm sure that you can tell. I was surprised when I used this today because I was like, oh, I'll probably declutter these because like I'm not good at eyeliner. I surprised myself with how good I actually am at eyeliner. So I don't know that I'm going to declutter these until they're empty, actually, which shocked me. I did choose, this is 10 uses. So I said, we'll see if I find a way to make them work. If not, I'll declutter them after the 10. I think I'll easily be able to get my 10 uses out of this. And that's it for Panopoly. Now we're going to move on to my last project, which is called One Lip a Week. This is exactly what it sounds like. One lip product for a whole week. I picked, I think I have 7 here. 2, 4, 6. Yes, I have 7. I don't know why I have 7 because I was only planning on 6 weeks. I need to change my camera battery. Okay, new battery. I think I might have left one out on accident. I don't think I was actually going to use this because of the palette. So I'm going to remove one. I only have 6. So I found this project on Reddit, on the Makeup Rehab subreddit, by the user Listening to Rain. I will link this down below as well. I just really liked the idea. I don't have that many lip products. I mean, I have a lot of lip glosses, but I use them all regularly, and I decluttered a lot of lip products, but I feel like I really want to focus on all of them, and there are questions that will really help me like evaluate it. I tried to pick lipsticks that kind of match the palettes that I picked, just so I'm not wearing like cool tones and warm tones and it really clashing. That might just be a me thing, but I don't like to do that. Some of these I absolutely know I'm going to be keeping, like the one I have on my lips today, but I still think it'd be fun to answer these questions specifically. I'm actually wearing 2 on my lips right now. Like, one of the questions is, did you layer it together? So the first question, the first is like the product name and the brand. The next one is, why did you choose this product? Why did you choose this lip product? Then, did you wear this product alone or layer and mix it with other products? Then, do you still like the formula, the color, and the effect that the product gives? And then, are there any new discoveries or decisions made after the week? So mostly, are you going to keep it? Or are you going to declutter it? So today, this one I know I'm absolutely keeping is Chanel Suzanne. It's like one of my favorite lipsticks. And then I have MAC Velvet Teddy, the original. They just reformulated it and the color is not the same. I feel like it's slightly darker and slightly more pink. So I will not be replacing this when it's gone. I still have quite a bit though, so I'm not super concerned with that. I wish MAC would be honest about what they're doing. Are you reformulating because there's pigment issues or other supply chain issues? They're trying to act like, oh, we just did a new formulation and the colors are wildly different, and I don't want to buy your shit anymore because none of the colors are the same. And like, the color is why I'm here. I don't know. So those are 2 of the colors that I chose. And let's go on to the other 3. Well, that's 5. Oh, here. The other 4. One was hiding from me. So this one is a melt laced. I honestly should have worn this today. It would have looked really good with this eye look. This is beautiful. I love Melt's lipstick formula, so these will probably stay. And then this is Melt 710. This is a really fun color as well. Next is a liquid lipstick. This is the Black Moon Cosmetic in Ashes. This is really fun. This actually would have looked good with today's look as well. Doesn't want to focus. And the last one is Johnson Smith Cosmetics in Unicorn Blood. I love this color. I actually used like a fair bit of it. I need to find a color that looks exactly like this when this is gone. This is very old. It still smells fine mostly. Maybe it's getting a little waxy. So this will probably be decluttered after this challenge. I keep a lot of the products, even like this I used up and then it dried out, but I keep them to take with me to a store for color comparisons to try and find replacements. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 5 like decluttered / used up products from this company to find replacements because they're like holy grail shades for me. So this will be the last hurrah for this because it's starting to smell waxy. It's just old as hell. All right, let's talk about updates and things like that. So I feel like at least in the beginning I want to do monthly check-ins because while I keep everything in notes and I will have a specific notebook, I just want to talk about these things while they're fresh in my mind. You know, sometimes you'll write something down and then a couple months later you don't exactly feel the same, or you can talk yourself out of decluttering something. I don't want to do that, so I want to do it while it's fresh. I might change that later on and switch to bi-monthly or quarterly or something like that, but that's how I'm going to start it. Also, I'm just really excited to do this. I'm really excited to talk about my progress. I'm really excited to talk about specific feelings regarding products. My first check-in will be in March for the reasons I listed earlier. I'm not sure exactly when. Hopefully like the first week of March, I'll get into it. And then after that, it will be monthly. So then it will be the first week of April, so on and so forth. And that's about all I have for this. I'm excited to start. Have you ever done a project pan? If you have, which ones have you done? If you haven't, are you interested in doing one? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.